Welcome back to my channel. I just needed to show you my precious little baby angel, my dog. I will show you. She's dead. She always lays like this. She loves sunbathing. She loves this warm weather. Don't you? Oh gosh, her fur feels so warm. Usually she'll lay in this rug that's right in front of our door, but whenever like the sun causes some shade coverage, she has to come out to the grass and just sprawl and look like her neck is broken. It's not, by the way. She has, oh, sorry. She thinks that I'm trying to pull her somewhere. Sorry, baby, you can stay. Unless you want to come in. She's gonna die of heat stroke, oh my gosh. I do have a bowl of water placed out here. Oh my God, I accidentally just stopped recording. I have a bowl of water to hopefully prevent her death through heat. It's actually not really that hot outside. It's just like starting to finally be warm. I haven't talked to you in freaking forever. So the last few videos that I've been posting were actually from like within the last week, like about a week ago, more than a week ago. And I just like fell really behind with stuff because we had family staying with us over the weekend, and then like I just was feeling so overwhelmed the first half of this week. So today is actually Thursday. I think the last time I filmed anything at all, it was last Friday, and it was not enough to even like make a whole video. It was like 2 minutes of me like doing my little morning thing and like saying, oh well, I'll talk to you later, and then I never talked to you again. So it's been a minute. In a minute, I'm Anita, sentimental. What? I'm a little bit migraine-y today, so that's kind of impacting me. We've chatted about this before, but I've had this theory, and it's actually probably an actual legit scientific thing, but my theory for like my whole life, I have migraine and ADHD. So one of the things that I do for as needed treatment of migraine, other than like painkiller, my actual prescribed medication, other than those things, I also have caffeine that really helps me. Caffeine impacts everyone with migraine a bit differently, but for me, it has always been really helpful. I have a mild to moderate amount of like daily morning caffeine usage, like coffee drink. 1 or 2 cups a day is usually my regular routine. But whenever I'm feeling a little off or low energy, which usually is a warning sign of a migraine attack, or if I'm like feeling all the other migraine symptoms, I can just have some extra coffee, and that either can help alleviate my symptoms or really help boost the effectiveness of my other treatment methods. I almost forgot why I brought this up. Okay, so, oh my God, the dog. She jumps up here sometimes. She's not gonna do it again. Hold on, let me let her in. Hello, Angel. You had enough? Finally. Yes, I was worried about you. I was worried. Yes. Okay, you're free. Go get some water. Maybe water. Maybe. I'm gonna sit down. I need to sit down. We're unfocused so far, which that's kind of what I'm about to tell you. So ADHD, you treat with stimulant medication typically, and that's a newer diagnosis for me. Like the last few years is when I got that diagnosis and started like taking medication. So both my ADHD meds and caffeine are stimulants, right? Like the way they impact our body are stimulants. I've always, like way before the days I was taking ADHD meds, I've always felt like stimulants didn't work while I was feeling migraine-y, because like everything in my brain is feeling so low and like laggy that like the coffee is probably still helping, but it's not getting me enough of a difference to where I feel any of it. So that's usually one of my first warning signs if I'm not already in pain or like having very obvious symptoms in the morning. If I have my regular amount of coffee and I'm like, I don't feel like anything at all just happened, like I'm needing another cup, that's usually like a very clear sign that I'm feeling migraine-y and need to do something. So all of that to say, I've also noticed that whenever I'm migraine-y, my ADHD meds are way less effective. It makes sense. It's like the same situation. So I am very like scattered today because I'm migraine-y today. I've not really taken it super seriously because the symptoms are honestly so mild that they're not really impacting me, but I am noticing it. You know what I mean? Like I'm dealing with pain. I'm dealing with like brain fog, some irritability, scent sensitivity, light sensitivity. Oh my God. That was actually one of the first things other than the pain when I got up in the morning and I was letting this girl out, Kyla. Did I say her name yet? That's my dog. Whenever I was letting her out this morning, the sun through the window was like searing my brain. And I was like, that's not good. Like I already knew what was going on because my head hurt. But that was another like clarifying sign, right? Yeah, so I only took a painkiller and an extra cup of coffee. And by extra, I think I really just did 2 cups. I've been kind of on a 1 a day kick for a while, which is weird, but like not a problem, obviously. Moderation is a good thing. But I had 2 cups today and I'm still feeling just kind of blah, which makes sense. So I could take my actual prescription medication or I could get a little extra boost of more caffeine potentially. We could see about that. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I need to do too much though, because like, first of all, I don't have a ton of responsibilities today. And then like, second of all, the symptoms aren't severe. Like they're there, they're annoying, but they're not holding me back function wise. I've still been able to do stuff. Any hoodly doodle. Like I said, I don't have any real responsibilities today. This is my at-home day, which is why it was the easiest day to pick up a camera. I actually thought about picking up the camera like this morning. It's currently 1 p.m. So we've gone through a lot of day so far. Actually, I thought it was later than that. So that's a little bit reassuring because there are things I want to get done today that I haven't quite gotten to yet. Anyway, oh my gosh, let me pause for a second and collect myself. So the things that I'm doing, that I've done so far, oh my God, I just looked and I saw that I accidentally zoomed in for that whole last clip. Sorry, didn't notice I did that. Whoopsie doopsie, don't know what happened there. Other than just like general house stuff, there's a lot to catch up on. Because even though we had family visiting over the weekend, I've been working really late days. Almost, I think every day this week. Well, Tuesday wasn't incredibly late, but it was still a full work day, which it usually isn't as full as it was. Let me back up. So my work is a little bit untraditional, you could say. I'm a consultant dietitian nutritionist, so I work for a company that has contracts with different healthcare facilities, and I'm sent to like be the lead RD at certain like hospital contracts or whatever. And I primarily work with inpatient psychiatric hospitals. So, and actually I think those are the only things currently on my schedule. It's not the only thing I do, but it is the only thing currently like scheduled. I do have a training for like just a general hospital because they're changing their charting system and I'm trained on that hospital. I haven't had to work there for a little while, but I may need to go in as backup for the current lead dietitians if they go on vacation or something in the future. So I have a training for their new electronic charting system like next week, I think, but I don't have any scheduled shifts at that hospital. So right now I'm only doing inpatient psych, which I love, honestly. Part of it's probably because I have psychiatric diagnoses, so I feel like I really connect with the patients and see them for what they are, which is just like regular people that are having some sort of flare up of their mental health or like addiction issues or something like that. So I really enjoy that setting. I really enjoy it a lot, but my main place I go has just had so much to do this week. Like I usually expect a fullish work day, but I've been working like actual literal full work days at the hospital, which is unusual because for my job, these contracts, we just kind of do the work that's needed. And typically it feels like, and I don't know if this is across the board, all of the contracts, but it feels to me like these sites that we have contracts with don't have enough like work that they need to hire a full-time dietitian into their hospital, but of course they need to have a working dietitian available. So like usually they're smaller facilities, they have less needs, there's not a lot of hours. I don't know if I'm explaining this well because of my brain fog. I'm like feeling myself stumble over my words. But I do know that my main place I go to 3 times a week. So like not full-time because it's just 3 days a week, but they do tend to take at least 6-ish hours. I actually haven't really kept track specifically. I do track my hours every time, but I haven't paid attention to the trend. But I usually get there like mid-morning and get home around the same time as my fiance. I'm really feeling like I need to start making myself get up earlier and then like getting there way earlier because I've gotten home like after dinner time on Monday and Wednesday this week. Like, it's been late. So I don't know. I'm sure it's just like fluctuation on like who is being admitted, because that's the hard part. You can't really plan ahead for this type of thing because my work is really just as needed. So it's based on the influx of patients. It's based on, do those patients that have come in and been admitted, do they have any nutrition risks or needs or anything like that? Or even if like barely anyone has admitted, if they all have significant nutrition things going on, I'm gonna have a lot more work to do. But if we have like 1 trillion people admit but they have nothing going on nutritionally, I have no work to do. So it's like really hard to gauge like how heavy my workload is gonna be. Like, you can definitely pick up trends, and like as I've said, I know that my main place usually takes a full-ish work day. So like on average, I know what to expect roughly, but lately it's just been kind of crazy, and part of it's my fault. We'll surely chat about it another time, but I've added a little bit of extra work for myself lately, and it's honestly not a lot more extra than what I used to do, but it's for a purpose. We don't need to get into it too much right now, but basically I've been really trying to crack down on making sure that communication across the different disciplines in the healthcare facility is like actually happening the way that we say that it's supposed to in our policies. So even though there is a lot of work to be done and I often have a lot of patients to review and assess, I haven't been correctly notified of the patients that are at nutrition risk, because technically I'm supposed to assess people just based on their length of stay unless there is a referral that they have a nutrition risk. I'm not getting referred the way that I'm supposed to be getting referred, so I'm having to like fully review everything on every single admission to see if they should be at risk and assessed earlier. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm basically assessing everybody. I don't need to be assessing everybody. That's basically what I mean, because I'm trying to crack down on like, we need to get this process running. So I'm assessing every single admission right now, which isn't a lot more work than what I need to do, because the thresholds for people who are at nutrition risk, it feels like I'm assessing most people anyways, but again, not getting referred for any of them, which I'm supposed to be. So I'm trying to like pinpoint like, where is this breakdown in communication happening? Like, are they not identifying these risks on the nutrition risk screening? Are they not like calculating the BMI and plotting that on a growth chart correctly? Are they just not using the system that's like in place to send me the referral? Like, I'm trying to figure out where that's happening. And I've been sending like summaries after my visits. I always send a summary for every hospital visit I do, every coverage day I do, to the facility of like what I did that day basically, and like any new recommendations or any observations I have. But I'm also trying to send an additional summary that just tags the people that are responsible for that part of it, just pointing out where those things are going wrong, so that they know that I'm looking for that and that they know what they are supposed to be doing in case they haven't been educated by somebody else, basically. And I'm trying to do it in a nice way, because it feels like I'm nagging people, like, you're not doing your job. But like, I get why it's happened this way for so long, and every single person I've talked to one-on-one about it, like, they get it, I get it, like, we're on the same page. It's just like, I'm getting frustrated because if I don't assess someone because they weren't referred to me, but then someone looks at it and they're like, well, they were supposed to get a nutrition assessment or whatever, and like education by the dietitian, is that going to be on me? Is that my fault when I'm not getting communicated that I was supposed to see them in the correct way? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to overly communicate, honestly, which is kind of a recurring thing for me. I love to over communicate, but like, I do think that that's handy, because I think it's the communication style I find helpful. If I was doing something wrong, I would want it to be very clearly stated and like reminded of it in the way that I try to do to other people. So anyway, that was a tangent. I don't even know if I planned on talking about that, but today I don't have any buildings to go to. I think that's what the point of what I was just talking about was. That's funny. There is one work thing that I would like to get done today. I don't know how intense it's going to be. And I also like hate to even think of it. I feel like certain things become long-term projects and they just haunt me. And I'm just like, I can't think about this without getting a burst of like, I don't know if it's anxiety necessarily, but just like frustration. And so like the thing that I want to do today, I have some frustration behind, which also could just be the migraine symptoms. I could just be irritable right now. But anyway, currently, I've recently finished eating lunch. I'm editing videos. Like, this is me catching up, and I was like, oh, I'm like caught up on like the editing and scheduling my videos thing. Now I can film one again. So that's kind of what prompted me to chat with you. So I'm in the middle of editing and scheduling some things. I'm doing some laundry. I did other house stuff. I need to walk this dog again, although she needs to cool down. She was just outside baking, so like she needs to cool down and then we'll go on a walk. I'm trying to time it with like probably the laundry. I feel like I do laundry every time I'm filming, but it's just because I do try to just do it every day that I'm gonna be home for the full duration of whenever, like how long the laundry takes. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Yeah, I'll check in later. I think that's all that I have right now. I'm in the middle of unloading my laundry. Can we just say, this is a hairnet. I find one at least of these every time I do the laundry, just stuck in one of my random pockets at work, because although I don't work in a kitchen, I'm a dietitian, I still work adjacent to the kitchen, and often I need to put a hairnet on to walk around throughout the kitchen. So this just like, it freaks me out every time because I'm like, what is that disgusting hairball? It's just a hairnet. Why have I not adjusted to this? Also, why have I not started throwing them away? When I'm done using them, they just get stuck in a pocket and have to spook me when I do my laundry. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. In the trash it goes. Oh my God, that felt like it took a million years, and it kind of did. But I've just finished editing all of the footage that I have from, I don't know, since I was filming last, I suppose. And I have uploaded everything except for the last one. The last one is currently like finalizing, downloading to my computer, and I will upload it to YouTube. But I think in the meantime, I'm gonna walk this dog. Where's she at? She's on the couch. I fear I'm not gonna get the thing done today that I wanted to get done today, but I'm remembering I told someone I would have it done by Friday, and today's Thursday, so maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do it. Let's do it. I'll show you what it is, and then I will like take a little mental break, a little mentee bee, and go on my walkie with the doggy. So I shared this whenever it first became relevant, but I have a bunch of printed out menu items here. So I wasted paper. No, I didn't really waste paper, but I did print these all out because I'm working on creating the standardized recipes. Okay. What is that? Always 32s? What am I? Oh, I don't know how to read my own handwriting. I gave this printout of my draft of the standardized menu to the person who mainly is in charge of the kitchen. They don't have a formalized kitchen staff at this hospital because it's such a small like unit and everything, but the person who mainly is running that situation, I gave her a printout of everything so she could make her notes, and I haven't had the chance to go through and update based on her notes yet. And I think most of what she's going to be giving me is the actual cook times, because that's what's really different between my old draft and what reality is, because they use a different oven than what all of these recipes were based on. So I'm hoping that her notes help me greatly. I'm hoping it doesn't take me too long to run through and just like change it. Here, I'll just give you a random thing here. So here it is Wednesday lunch. I will flip the camera. Here's Wednesday lunch. So we have the items that are being served, the serving size. I haven't double checked to make sure that those are correct. The instructions, which I was hoping she'd give me some notes on instructions, but from what I've flipped through, I haven't seen any notes on that yet. And then the cook times is what's most important. We're actually gonna be doing away with these two separate columns because they don't thaw anything. They either cook it from frozen or it's just already in the fridge or like room temp or whatever, like if it's a can. Like we don't do one or the other. So I actually have already combined these. And then I want to, hopefully, I was again hoping she would tell me if she knew of other food allergens, because I want to go through and make sure that this is all accurate. I think I'm gonna be able to find the actual links to the specific food products to double check this for accuracy, but that's gonna have to be the next phase. I think next phase to focus on currently is going through and implementing her notes here. So that's what I will focus on after my walk. And then I don't know, if it goes remarkably quickly, I will go through and try to find some specific links to make sure my allergens and everything are correct. But if not, I don't know, man. Either way, we gotta get this done. So that's that on that. Waiting for these things to upload. It's taking forever. That is a really not flattering still shot, but I also didn't do my makeup today. That day my hair was wet and I didn't have makeup on, and today my hair is a day old and I don't have makeup on, so I guess I just don't care what you think about my appearance. Okay, I'm gonna go. Update, that took me like 15 minutes. That was really quick. I'm not confident it's like 100% accurate, but it is pretty close, I think, just based on like flipping through it. So I'm happy about that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and check in to see if there's any charting to be done. I do plan on visiting this hospital tomorrow. So ideally, if there is any charting to be done, I can do it in person tomorrow. But I have had just such long work days at the other place that I will be going to tomorrow. So like, it's gonna be hard to fit both buildings in. I keep having this problem. It keeps happening, but we'll do a little preliminary research right now. Preliminary, that felt weird coming out of my mouth, but you know what I mean. Anywho, that didn't take long. The walk was wonderful. It was nice outside. It was actually really hot, but Kyla had a great time. Okay, toodles. Oh my God, I just worked for like an hour and a half and I didn't expect to have to work at all. They had a bunch of new admissions again. I feel like that always happens when I least suspect. It's always like nothing's happening, low census, and then when I'm like not even paying attention, the full bed situation, every hospital bed is filled. She just must have woken up because of my voice. She looks very disheveled. Oh my God, she's breaking protocol. She's supposed to be on the blankets. What did you do? What did you do? Did I wake you up talking? Cutie patootie. Let's go sit by Kyla and talk. Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, hello, hello. Yes. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I need to start thinking about food because it's about 5 p.m. now. I think I'm gonna make an easy recipe. I'm just trying to think of what makes the most sense for tonight. I just don't know. We've had kind of a weird situation going on for our dinners since we had family over the weekend, understandably. Trying to remember what we even had. Oh, 2 nights ago we had like an easy like ravioli dish. And then last night we just had burgers, which is our go-to like easy meal. Monday I think we had leftovers, I can't remember. But tonight I would like to make one of our like recipes. I didn't plan the meals for the week, but I do have enough ingredients for quite a few things, honestly. But I think what I'm gonna do is Korean beef. We do that like all the time, but it's just so simple. All we need is a pound of ground beef, which I definitely have, and like the sauce is a homemade sauce, but it's mostly like soy sauce, obviously, and then some additions. I'll link the recipe if I remember. And then it's just rice and then whatever you want to add on top of that. So we usually add some vegetables. I know that we have bell peppers and mushrooms, although Dan keeps making this comment about being sick of bell peppers. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that because that's one of the few vegetables I've been able to get him to eat, right, babe? I don't know. So yeah, bless you. That's that on that. I doubt I'm gonna have anything else to say, but we're back into it. Let me know what kind of videos you wanna see, if anything specific, if you wanna hear more about work stuff, if you wanna see more about this little sweet angel. Oh my goodness. You're such a cutie. Okay, that's all. Bye.